How to buy a house with no job and no money. Wow. Let's take a look at that. I think I can help you out. This is Ken Van Liew, #1 international best-selling author of the Modern Wealth Building Formula, How to Master Real Estate Investing. And I've been there before. Minimal money, without a job, and looking for a home. So let's look at a couple things that we can address in this situation. #1, I want you to look at your wheel of life. What is your wheel of life? Well, let's look at a few areas and consider your life like a dresser drawer, or like a dresser that has many drawers. Let's say there's 8 drawers in your dresser. There's maybe, let's just say 6. There's 6 areas of life I want you to focus on. That's your wheel of life. Spirituality, finances, relationships, health and fitness, time management, business. Those could be 6 areas. You want to look at those 6 areas and see as a wheel how that wheel's rolling. There may be certain areas you're doing really good. You may be very spiritual, but you may not be earning a lot of money. You may be earning a lot of money, but you may not have great relationships. So you want to get that wheel of life rolling in a nice, fluid fashion so you can move the ball forward. If one thing's out of sync, a lot of times it affects other areas of life. So I want to give you that step. And I'm not saying that you don't have a job because there's something wrong with your life. You may just be in a transition. You may not have money because you're just in an awkward time. So there's nothing to make yourself wrong about. You're just going to address what you can do in order to get out of this situation and move it forward and get into real estate. Just the the current situation, nothing to sweat. Let's just see the steps that we can do in order to get your house without money and without a job. So after you take a look at the wheel of life, the one area of life that you're going to want to start to look at is the finance area of your life. You want to get your revenue in control. If you're not earning any revenue and you're struggling with keeping the lights on, you may have to get a job just to kind of get some cash flow coming in order for you to create your real estate portfolio and build your real estate business if that's what you want to do. And that's why I wanted to go into the third item, is you really have to ask yourself, what do you want? You're at a time where you're trying to buy a house, you don't have a job. It's a time to reflect and get clear on what you want, because at this stage of this circumstance, it's all about leverage. And without clarity, you're not going to have the leverage you need in order to pry yourself out of this situation. So it's so important that you look at these little key micro distinctions that can make a huge difference when you're in this type of situation. So there's 2 things that I'd like you to look at in getting into real estate. One would be a lease with an option to buy. You don't need money. You basically are just going to sign a lease in order to move into that house with the option to buy and figure it out later. Similar, you can hack a house. Buy it, live in it, have people live in it, pay for the rent, have it season itself. After a year, sell it, make a profit. Great ways to get started without a money and a job. You could actually pay yourself for managing that property and give yourself a job. So lease with option to buy and house hacking are 2 alternatives that you should look at when you don't have money and you don't have a job to buy real estate. The 6th item that I'd recommend is you definitely want to partner with someone. Get yourself a partner, because if you're going to do a lease option or a house hack, they can be your partner and you'll be the person babysitting, taking care of the house. They look for people like you. You can work with many investors to buy a property. And that's one thing that I would move towards immediately. Get yourself a mentor. A mentor will guide you along the way in looking at your goals, because the next item I was going to say is you got to make sure you set your goals. You're setting your goals, discussing with your mentor's helping you put goals together. You probably thought about some goals before getting mentors, and when you get mentors, you refine your goals. They're kind of like hand in glove. But it's really important that you're clear with your goals, clear with your mentorship, clear on what you want to do. Don't get bogged down because you don't have money and a job, because then you're not going to be able to think straight. And these are the things and steps that you have to do to start climbing out on top again. And then the 9th and 10th actions that I want to tell you is 9 is exactly what I just said. But it's take massive action every single day. Time block, processes, templates, systems. And number 10, we look at the spirituality. It doesn't hurt to say a prayer every day. Those are the 10 items. If you don't have a job and you don't have the money to buy real estate and you want your first home, if you focus on those 10 items, the barrier to entry will look a little smaller, right? You break it down. Don't get frustrated. Stay positive and get started. This is Ken Van Liew, real estate author, Modern Wealth Building Formula. Check out my YouTube, subscribe below. Social media, you know how to do it. Make it a great day.